If you were a miner back around the turn of the century, you might have found yourself here at Chemung Mine. The Chemung Mine vein was known to be a significant producer of both gold and silver. And the mine operated for over 30 years before becoming abandoned. As a miner, you would have spent days and maybe weeks here at the mine itself, grinding away. But when you needed some rest and relaxation, you might have taken your pockets full of gold or wages and gone to the local town, in this case, Bodie. Bodie was the closest town to the Chemung Mine, and that's where you would find your saloons, your brothels, and maybe a church. All of which would be happy to take the gold right out of your pocket. Welcome to Bodie. Or what remains of Bodie. Today only about 5% of the buildings remain from the town's 1877 to 1881 heyday. If you really wanted to get rich in the Old West, you probably came here, and you probably weren't mining. You might have set up a shop selling pickaxes or Levi's, or booze, or if you were a woman, your body. Gold was discovered in Bodie in 1859, and mining progressed slowly until 1875 when a mine collapse revealed a rich body of gold ore. Once word spread fast, Bodie's boomtown days began and its population peaked at around 8,000 people in that 1877 to 1881 heyday. There were 30 different mines and 9 stamp mills. Bodie had a reputation for bad men and wild times. It had more than 60 saloons, a lot of which were near Bonanza Street, home of the prostitutes' cribs, and the opium dens in Chinatown. Let's take a tour, shall we? The Methodist church shown here was built in 1882, the same time as the Catholic church. The Catholic church burned down in 1928, though. An oilcloth with the 10 Commandments once hung behind the Methodist church pulpit here. It is assumed that the thief couldn't read because, of course, one of those commandments is thou shalt not steal. This is one of 2 mortuaries remaining in Bodie. The other's near the cemetery. This building has some concerningly small caskets inside. Much like today's combination Taco Bell KFCs, we have Sam Leone's Bar and Joe Hayner's Barbershop. This building was previously a restaurant and also a cafe and boarding house. The adjoining barbershop was owned by Joe Hayner, the last barber to work in Bodie. The firehouse was rebuilt in the 1930s. The 1892 fire started on North Main Street and started in a restaurant and ended up consuming over 60 buildings. The schoolhouse was originally called the Bontown Lodging House. They had to turn it into a school after the first school was allegedly burned down by an early-day juvenile delinquent. At its peak in 1879 to 1880, it had its highest enrollment of 615 students. The largest buildings in Bodie is the Standard Mill. It was the most successful of 30 mining companies operating during Bodie's mining heyday. Heavy iron rods known as stamps broke up quartz rock containing gold and silver. Mercury and later cyanide was used to separate the metals from the crushed rock. The mine yielded more than $18 million over its 38 years of existence. All that remains of the Bodie Bank shown here is its brick vault. The bank was never robbed despite Bodie's Wild West reputation. The town jail looks small in proportion to the tales of lawlessness during Bodie's boom years. The jail was the responsibility of Constable John Kurgan. In an infamous 1881 incident which resulted in Kurgan's temporary demotion, vigilantes took accused murderer Joseph DeRoche from the jail and hanged him. What's left of Bonanza Street is shown here. Conveniently located behind Main Street saloons, Bodie's red light district was also known as Maiden Lane and Virgin Alley. The ladies of the evening lived and worked here in a row of mostly one-room cabins called cribs. Unfortunately, the boom years were over quickly as unsuccessful mines began closing. The population dropped quickly and continued to dwindle into the 1900s. Mining continued until 1942, but after that, Bodie was a shell of what it was in the past. Once again, thank you all for watching. Let us know where you want Mason Obscura to go next. And until then, get lost. This mine is rumored to be haunted, but only on Saturday nights.